1 minute warning!
To the goofball army out there, hi the families, tell them to get to the next room, tell them to go to your neighbors, because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If this is your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink, because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, oof.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, soon to be joined here by Rob, who once again is stuck in his lovely traffic there on his route back from New York City, where they make the best salsa known to man here. But we got an episode to start off with you guys in the meantime. So tonight, the Giants injury report explodes before the Lions matchup. We break down every major name. Then we make straight up picks, over unders, and spread picks for every single week 12 game. So buckle up, guys. All right, Giant fans. So yeah, the injury report, absolute disaster this week, guys. Starters out, key defenders hurt, and Detroit isn't exactly healthy either. So tonight we're going to be breaking down every name on both lists here for the Giants and the Lions and what it means here for Sunday. After that, of course, again, we got our week 12 picks across the league. So let's get right into it here. Starting, of course, with the injury report here. Guys, this injury report is brutal. The Giants have starters all over the field banged up. The Lions are dealing with their own major concerns. So we're going to start breaking down every injury here, what it means, and who's actually has the advantage, at least injury-wise, going into this game here. So let's start off with the Giants. Starts off with the big one that we kind of had a surprise on last week was Paulson Adebo, who initially was going into the game as a, questionable guy. Might play, might not play with a knee injury. Already missed the prior game there with that, and was looking like he was going to play. All of a sudden warming up, felt discomfort in that knee, and end up sitting out the game. Well, he's still not practicing. That's not a good sign, guys, going into, Thursday now with not practicing this late in the week. So I got to imagine we might be once again without Paulson Adebo, which means we're once again with Deonte Banks. Oh, yes. Everybody's favorite Deonte Banks. Of course, being as sarcastic as possible there. Thomas Fidone II, also out with a foot injury. Let's be honest, guys. He hasn't really contributed much this year, so if he doesn't play, it's not the end of the world. Cor'Dale Flott was not at practice today, but that was personal reasons. He had, hit him and his, actually, I didn't even look up wife, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, but him and some girl had gone ahead and welcomed a child into the world here. So I don't know what's with the Giants having kids all of a sudden. It's like tons and tons of kids here coming from the Giants here. And let's see, it looks like no information as to whether or not he is married, but I did look it up because I want to make sure I get it right. Lauren Talbert was his fiance as of last year. So, yeah. So, we got to assume that if not married, I'm guessing, since that was just last year, that's the one that we got there as far as who the mother is to the baby. But either way, congrats to Cor'Dale Flott on having a child there. Well, someone having a child for him. He didn't really do the pushing, but you know what I mean. So, Kayvon Thibodeaux, the shoulder injury, still not practicing as well. Listen, if that's, an issue going forward here, you might be seeing Kayvon out for a little while longer here, it looks like, which means to be second game in a row for Abdul Carter to go ahead and try to show he's worth that number 3 overall pick. Obviously, been a little disappointing of a rookie season for him. Again, not giving up on him yet. Not giving up on him, as we said. But Kayvon potentially out again this week here. Limited participants. You got Demetrius Flanagan Fowles with an illness. Rico Payton, the corner that who's got off the IR recently, is also limited with an illness. Darius Slayton with the hamstring. That's a big one for me. I want to see Darius Slayton back up and go. We do not have a lot of weapons, and I know it's not been a great year for Slayton, let's be honest. But he's still much a better player than most of the wide receivers we have in this roster. So Deonte Banks, limited participant, also with a hip injury. We said before, assuming Adebo is out, which we're guessing is probably going to happen since he's still out in practice right now, Deonte Banks would start. Well, again, he's got a hip injury now. He's questionable. So, but I got to think he's going to be able to go ahead and play just because what I'm hearing here. Jaxson Dart, that's probably the biggest name of all the names we're going to go over on the Giants side here. Got the concussion, obviously didn't play last week. Obviously, Jameis Winston played in his stead there. From everything I'm hearing, Dart is progressing well. Dart should be good to go for Sunday. But again, that's out of the Giants' hands. When you're talking concussion, that is determined by independent doctors. That is not something the Giants are able to sway. No matter how many times Brian Dable tries to go into tents, he learned that one. And in the end, listen, I don't want him coming back if he's not ready to go. This is not the year that's important for him. It's next year, the year after, all that stuff. I want the time. I want him to, because I've heard a lot of people saying now, oh, maybe he should go ahead and just sit out the rest of the year. That to me is ridiculous. He does not need to sit out the rest of the year. But if you want to give him a chance to go ahead and, get a little more healthy one more week if need be, well, it is what it is. I want him healthy. More than anything else, I want him healthy. Chauncey Golston, limited participant with the neck injury. Chauncey Golston, guys, was the guy we thought might be a decent depth piece for this Giants defense, and he's been out, I feel like, most of the year here, so hopefully we get him back. Tyler Newman, neck injury also. Also, again, limited participant there. So, again, hopefully he's good to go. Raheem Nunez-Roches with the toe/elbow, which obviously that's two separate injuries. I can't imagine he got one injury for his toe and his elbow. But he's a limited participant. Did not play last week. Would love to see him play this week. Guys, this is a Lions team that loves to run. I know that Nunez-Roches has not exactly been lighting the world on fire in his time with the Giants, but he's still a lot better than a lot of the guys we have out there. So I like to see him play. Nick Jones, the corner, hamstring issue there. Again, I got to imagine he's going to be good to go if he's at least limited participant. That's a good sign. He's moving the right direction there. Full participant, Eric Gray. We talked about him the last episode there. So Eric Gray, again, he's in that window to come off the IR right now. Full participant is a good sign he's going to be coming off the IR. Guys, I don't know what to expect at this point. Like, I gave up on Eric Gray like a year or two ago. I gave up on like the first preseason practically. Yeah, that one good preseason game, ironically enough, I think it's the Lions there in 24. But otherwise, he's been such a massive, massive disappointment as a player. So, I couldn't care less if he plays or doesn't play, to be very frank. On the Lions side, Terrion Arnold, concussion. Dan Campbell noted that he said, still kind of day to day. And that's a big one. He's a starter. He's probably their best corner they have. Also, safety Kerby Joseph with a knee injury is expected to miss the game. Again, another starter, another big-time player for the Lions defense there. Limited participants. Sion Vaki, the running back, ankle injury. Listen, guys, he's played 4 games. He's rushed 1 time for 4 yards. I think they'll be okay. Wide receiver Isaac Tesla, 10 games, 4 catches, 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, obviously not a massive, difference maker on this team. You don't have to be rude about it. The big ones we're concerned about here, and because quite frankly, they're looking like they might play, and I was kind of hoping. I don't want to hope for injuries, but I was hoping for some injuries in this case here to help us out. The Lions offensive line, guys, has been together as a group, minus the center because he retired. Obviously, their usual starting center retired this offseason. Much of this line, though, has been together for years. This is not the case at all. This offensive line, if you look at offensive lines, offenses having their top 5 offensive line players there. They're starters at the beginning of the season, all playing together. The Lions have the lowest percentage of plays with these guys all playing together. Now they got starting left tackle Taylor Decker with a shoulder injury, who's been upgraded. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but he was a limited participant on Thursday, so that's a good sign for him. Right guard Tate Ratledge with a knee injury, and center Graham Glasgow with another knee injury as well. All 3 of those guys on the limited participant. So listen, usually I would say, okay, they should start with the limited participants, but when you have 3 of your offensive linemen, it's not necessarily the best of signs. And, I said it before and I'll say it again when it comes to the Lions. You got to think as a Lions fan, if you're going to take a game off for some of your more key important players, isn't this the game you do that with? Like, I feel bad. I feel like I'm trash talking my own team I'm a fan of here, but it's like, of all the games you're going to play, do you not feel the most confident probably against the Giants right now that have 2 wins all season long, 2-9, battling injuries, having their biggest offensive weapons out? Listen, if I'm the Lions, I would point blank would go, man, maybe this is the game to sit guys. Let some guys get healthy. We'll see if that's the case. Edge, Josh Pascal, who's trying to get back from the IR as well. He's in that window. He's 5 days remaining on his evaluation to come back from it. So he's expected to probably play. Hasn't played yet this year at all. Last year, 14 games, 21 tackles. So again, backup guy. Edge rusher Marcus Davenport, shoulder. He's still on the IR as well, but he's again trying to get off of there. He's 12 days remaining in his evaluation there. So they don't have to rush him. If he's ready, he'll play. If he's not, they're not going to play him. That's what it boils down to. 2 games so far this year, 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. Corner DJ Reed, he's got the hamstring issue. He's still on the IR, same boat there, still trying to come back from it. He's got 12 days also left to come back from that. So again, he's in that window where it could play, could not play. They don't have to force it. Josh Pascal is good, more the guy they got to go ahead and force in because he's got 5 days left in his evaluation time period, or they got to put him back in the IR, shut him down for the year. Davenport and Reed can wait a little bit. And those are pretty big names in this defense there. Quarterback Khalil Dorsey got a wrist injury. He's also in that time period. He's got 20 days left, so he literally just started his evaluation clock there. So again, they're not going to force him in if he's not ready to go. So you got 4 games, 4 tackles for him so far. Brian Branch, the toe injury, safety there, upgraded from no practice on Wednesday to a limited participant here today on Thursday. So that's a good sign for the Lions. He's improving. 9 games, 52 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 5 passes deflected there. So, again, big names there, but not sure. Again, I'm not sure they're worried about the Giants like that. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens there, but both sides definitely banged up. And listen, you could make the case that the Giants are actually the healthier team. You look at what's going on here, and you got the whole secondary basically injured for the Lions. You got, most of the offensive line. You got 4 out of the 5 guys all on the injury list for the offensive line here. I forgot to actually mention, I think I skipped in Penei Sewell with the ankle injury. Another guy who didn't practice on Wednesday, and he practiced today on Thursday. So you got both tackles, 1 guard, 1 center. You got a starting corner and a starting safety probably not playing. You got the other starting corner trying to get him off the IR. And you got to see how that goes. And you got the other safety, did not even be able to practice at all yesterday on Wednesday. So, we'll have to see what happens here overall. But that's the team that's more injured than the Giants are right now, at least as far as what we're used to. I mean, listen, we haven't no neighbors for a while now. We've had no Scatterboo for a while. We're kind of used to playing with those guys. You include that in there, yeah, we're banged up, obviously pretty bad. But if you look at just guys who are injured right now and not playing, that we have been playing with the last couple of weeks, Lions are in rough shape, guys. It's not to say that we can come in and maybe surprise them. I still don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're probably in for the same boat we've been in the last couple of weeks, where the Giants go ahead and play good, Giants play close, Giants blow it in the end, and we're at that point now 2-10, which means we're officially probably out of the playoffs. Mathematically, even. Let's be honest, we've been out of the playoffs for weeks now. But mathematically, it means there's no chance. That's a little crazy this early in the season yet again. So, but we'll see what happens there. Hopefully we get shocked. The Giants do that every so often. All of a sudden, they win games you don't expect. Maybe this is that week again. I don't know. Who would have thought we'd beat the Chargers? Who would have thought they'd beat the Eagles? So, but if Jaxson Dart's in, there's always a chance. How much that chance is? Probably not much, but there's always a chance. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and pay the bills real quick, and then we're going to get to the picks time here for us, going through all the picks here for Week 12 there. So stick with us here, and we'll be right back.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
All righty, guys, let's get into the picks here because it's the crazy one. It's Week 12, guys, and we're going to give you straight up winners, across the league spreads, over-unders, who wins and why, all based on matchups, trends, and momentum here. So let's get started with the game that is going on actually live as we speak here. So as always, we're going to give you the picks here, but we're not going to go too much into it because if you're not watching this live, chances are it's already over at that point there. So you got the Bills and the Texans here. And as we speak right now, we got just under 6 minutes in the second quarter. Bills are up 9-3. So listen, again, we do this one quick always for you guys here. So Bills are a 5.5 point favorite. The over under is 43.5. So Rob and I have both picked the Bills to win, the Bills to cover the spread, and the under, which, listen, so far at 9-3, it looks like Rob and I are starting off with a trifecta for the week there. We'll see what happens there. So on to the 1 o'clock. Let's go to the Sunday games here. No crazy trips, no Europe, no Germany or England or anything like that, or Ireland or anything crazy. So we're gonna start off here with the Colts at the Chiefs, and that could be a hell of a matchup, guys. Absolute hell of a matchup. I mean, the Colts are lead number 1 in the NFL in total offense, almost 397 yards per game. Number 1 in scoring at 32.1 points per game. I mean, literally, it wouldn't be crazy to say they're most productive offense in all of football right now, which is crazy, again, with Daniel Jones as the quarterback there. Now, Daniel Jones got an injury. Just popped up on the injury report for them today for the very first time. So assuming he's in, which it looks like he should be, but there's still that potential. You got Jonathan Taylor just broke the Colts all-time rushing touchdown record, went over 1,100 yards already after 244 yard, 3 touchdown game, which is insane. Includes the longest run in the NFL this season, 83 yards, and quite frankly, he's probably going to be the offensive player of the year at this point, the way things are going. The Chiefs are still a top 10 total offense, but they've been a disaster in close games. 0-5 in one-score games this year after going 12-0 in one-score games last year. That was their mantra. That was their thing they were great at there, is they would play every single game close. They would just find a way. They're just not as clutch as they've been prior. So, it's kind of a catch-22. I think for me, and I'm going to speak for Rob, he'll be on shortly. I just talked to him during the break there, but I just can't trust the Colts yet. I've been saying forever, their schedule's not the strongest. They've been kind of playing some weaker opponents there. And then you saw them what happened with the Steelers. They got blown out entirely when they finally played a decent team. So until they prove otherwise, I can't necessarily trust them. Now, the Chiefs are not trustworthy this year either. To be very frank on that. The Chiefs are not at all a trustworthy team. So I don't know that I trust either one of these two teams at this point here. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs to win. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to beat the spread. It's just 3.5 points. And I'm going to go with the under on the points. They got 49.5 points, which, granted, guys, that's not necessarily crazy considering you got the Colts averaging 30 and the Chiefs still being a good offense as well. Something just tells me that there's going to be a little bit surprised, and this is not going to be the high-scoring event that people think it is. We'll find just something crazy. I mean, I know it's like I get those vibes sometimes. This is a vibe, definitely kind of bet for me on that one there. But like I said, I just can't trust the Colts. So until I can trust the Colts, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, even though they have not been trustworthy at all this year. I know I'm crazy.
You're vibing there. I have to agree with you. Like, as crazy as it sounds, as crazy it sounds. At the stands right now, Colts are number 1 in the AFC, I believe, in the standings. Still,
they're number 1 in a lot of things. It's crazy, but again, weak ass schedule. They're playing a pop winner.
Doesn't matter as of right now.
I know. I'm just saying,
brings confidence into the team, right? The problem is the DJ Princess Cinderella's turned into a pumpkin.
Yeah,
he had a couple picks last week, and I have to beat up on DJ. Granted, you got JT in the backfield. Looks absolutely amazing.
Yep, the best JT here. GTT.
Yeah, he's bringing sexy back. All right.
By the way, did you see the little kid from Home Improvement did a podcast? It's the first time people have seen him in like 14 years. I think his name like Terrion Smith or something like that. I don't know why I remember that. I have the weirdest memory. But yeah, he was on a podcast, and you would not believe it's him. Like full on, like hippie beard and everything. You would not believe it's him. He's enjoying that residual check.
Hell yeah! I'm surprised he hasn't. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten on one of his Tim Allen shows afterwards. He likes bringing on his old school.
From what I understand, he does not, just does not at all do anything acting wise.
Kudos to him.
Yeah. So,
but
let's see if I can find it.
Back to what I said before about this game. This is a must-win for the Chiefs. It's pretty much they're on the outside looking in of not winning that division for the first time in years. And it's probably not going to happen, especially if they lose this game. So Mahomes didn't look like he had that magic last week, but I think in the clinch game, you put your money on Mahomes and not DJ, and that's why I'm picking the Chiefs to win this game. I'm picking them to cover because I think it's going to be more of a defensive game than a lot of people think, and I'll just pick the under for in this game. So, Drew, we're either going to get this completely right or completely wrong.
We're like birds of a feather, the first two. Okay, I found the picture for you.
Oh, my.
He's 41 now. Who feels old now? Who feels old?
Oh, man.
And you know what's crazy is I still think about the little kid, and I'm like, wait a minute. If he's 41, he's only 2 years younger than I am. I was his age, basically, in that show.
I know. He's a little older than I am, but my God.
Yeah, it's craziness. Absolute craziness.
Looks like he hasn't cut his hair since the show left. I got it canceled.
If your setups, I know you were setting up when you just got on, I kind of popped you on.
Yeah, we're good to go. So the next game coming up, so you got the Seahawks going to Tennessee playing them Titans. Yeehaw! The Hawks are favored this game. 13.5 points. My God. Absolutely insane. With the over-under at 40.5 points. This is easy. You got one of the worst teams in the NFL, probably the worst team in the NFL. I think it's probably one of the best teams who did not have a good outing last week. Is probably going out there and try to shellac.
Yeah.
So the only question they have to say about the Hawks losing last week is does it expose some of the weaknesses on their defense and offense? I don't think it's enough for the Titans to recover. Seahawks win this game. I also don't think 13.5 points is pretty rich. Brent, they've already done this once. I don't see it being that much of a blowout. I see more of a run game early on, and it doesn't get too crazy. The sauce is going to be gone. I don't think it's going to be boiling that high.
Well, no, sauce in the Colts game.
Touche. Give me the Titans to cover this game and take it in the under, which is another reason why I'm taking the Titans to win, is I don't think it's going to get that out of control.
You know what? Respectfully, I disagree with you. I think it's going to get out of control. It's listen, I know it's 13.5 points here, but Seattle, and it's funny because Seattle, you don't hear Seattle being talked about as like a juggernaut offense or like a crazy good team that often. I feel like it's like the team that, like, if you're an actual legit NFL fan, you realize how good they're doing. But if you're the casual fan, you might not recognize what's going on there in Seattle. And point blank, the team is doing awesome. I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff and everything, the front office. They made a ton of crazy calls this offseason, like getting rid of Geno Smith, getting rid of DK Metcalf, getting rid of Tyler Lockett, like people that have been there forever, getting rid of Pete Carroll the year before that, getting Sam Darnold.
Greenhouse.
They made some risky damn calls. Like, they've had the riskiest offseason of any NFL team, I feel like. And yet it's worked for them. And they've been really, really good. I mean, quietly, they're top 3 in the NFL in scoring, 29.4 points per game. They're top 6 in total offense as far as yards. Like, that's pretty goddamn good considering all the changes they made. You don't make those changes when you're happy with things, Titans, complete opposite of the spectrum. Like, don't get me wrong, give them credit. They went out and got their quarterback with the first overall pick. He hasn't exactly lit the world on fire, but again, rookie quarterbacks don't always do that, guys.
That's offensive line either.
Titans are dead last in the league in total offense and scoring, like 14.3 points a game. That's what they're scoring. So, you got to wonder, if you just put those two things together, you're right there about 44 points. So I got the 43.5 is where I'm going, but that's because I think that the Seattle defense is a little better than your average defense. And I think it's going to be just enough that while Seattle's going to take the foot off the gas a little bit because they're not going to want to embarrass them, they're going to unintentionally do it because they're just that much better of a team. That's what I kind of feel like is going to happen there. So, and the biggest issue really, and it's something to keep an eye on if you want to really watch that game. Again, it's the same time the Giants game is on, so a lot of y'all probably won't watch, but watch the reruns, watch the recap of it. This Titans team just can't get third downs. They're under 30% in third down conversions. That's insane. Absolutely insane. I can't remember even hearing of a team being that horrible at that. So, definitely something that they got to try to get fixed here this offseason, get some more weapons, better offensive line there, get some talent around Cam Ward. I feel bad for the kid. But in the meantime, total mismanagement of a roster right now. And I only say that because a couple of years ago, they had Vrabel, they had King Henry, they were getting it rolling, and they just totally blew it up instead of building it up. And I think something tells me they probably regret that decision now. Call me crazy.
Yeah. Call you crazy.
Next up, we got the Vikings going into Green Bay to play the Packers in the NFC North battle, which isn't quite as climatic as we thought it was going to be because the Vikings haven't been very good the last few weeks. J.J. McCarthy looks horrendous. The Packers have been kind of themselves to a certain degree by, playing down to opponents. And this is a scenario where, again, you got an opponent that they could easily play down to. The Vikings are not an elite team right now. The Packers are favored by 6.5 points, so just under a touchdown there. Over under on this is 41.5 points there. But listen, we saw it ourselves. We played Green Bay this last week. It's a good team for us to talk about. We saw them live in person there when they beat the Giants there in a very close game. But what they are is they're sneakily efficient. They're top 15 in total offense and scoring, 24 points a game. Number 1 in the entire league at third down conversion. I think the opposite we're talking about with Tennessee before. It's just got to get past the converting the third and getting more touchdowns, getting more longer drives going. That's been the problem there. Again, you got the Minnesota issue with quarterbacks, just juggling quarterbacks all around. Carson Wentz for a while when JJ got hurt. JJ comes back. Carson Wentz is now hurt. JJ's not very good. It's an absolute cluster there. And their offense for the Vikings, literally bottom 10. And that's what's supposed to be their strength. Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, a really good offensive line. Like, they got a good running game. Like that's a team that in paper should be good. But when your quarterback sucks, it's hard to get things rolling. We talked about before, 49% third down conversion for the Packers. The Vikings, just 31. It's a massive difference, guys. I know 18% may not seem big. In the world of the NFL, that is absolutely insane.
Game changer.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Packers win this game. I'm going to say 6.5 points. I don't care. They'll still cover that. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to say a little bit over on the points there, which I know sounds weird. I'm just saying how bad the Vikings are on offense. I think the Packers got a little bit of stuff rolling last week against us. I think they kind of had to get the passing game a little more. And again, they had some drops against us, so they would have put up a lot more points, quite frankly. This is a team that should be able to pass the ball, yet they've been running the ball nonstop. Josh Jacobs gets injured, and all of a sudden they start being forced to throw the ball a little more. So I think this is the week to kind of get things going together. So, yeah, Packers, and over.
Yeah, I agree with you a little bit. And I probably just I'm not sleeping on the couch. I probably put the Packers, but sleeping with Packers fan, you know what you also didn't take account for is the way they play each other. It doesn't matter who's around. Historically speaking, the Vikings have Green Bay's number. It doesn't matter who's in, who's doing what. Vikings have their number, especially in the past recent times. I think Green Bay, out of the last 4 showings, won one time.
Make it 2 now.
Probably not, because then it rolls out of that 4-point roll because the 4th time ago, the Lions won 3 straight, so it'll still be 1-4.
Damn it. Way to kill my witty repartee.
That purposely. I could have said 1 for 5. But I didn't purpose it that way. But I do think it's going to be more of a defensive game here. Yeah. Part of the reason why the offense and all these stats aren't looking good because they're juggling quarterbacks is because their starting quarterback was injured. And he's been back now 3 games, and he's probably looked good for 6 quarters of football.
For the season.
Yeah, out of 3 games he played.
It's bad.
So, but he comes up winning games. They play some tough teams, and then in the division against Lions, which a lot of people thought we were going to smoke them then. Guess what they did? They beat them. They step up to the team they're playing as the Packers are stepping down to the level they're playing. I think the Vikings got enough juice in the tank to possibly win this game. They're definitely going to cover.
The juice is loose. And you know what's crazy is, let's say hypothetically, and listen, I'm not rooting against the kid. I have no ill towards him, but let's say that is what JJ McCarthy is, and he stays that way. Where does he go? Because people go to Minnesota to get right. Like Sam Darnold got fixed there. Daniel Jones went there and says that really helped him get fixed before he went to Indy. It's like, where are you going to go? Like, you're already at the place quarterbacks go to get fixed, and you can't get fixed.
So also take this into consideration. You're taking starters in the NFL that didn't succeed in the NFL. They have the experience in the NFL, not just come straight out of college. So they got a little bit of that mold and trade in there. You're taking the guy that came out of college, played hurt, didn't play for a year, and now he started his NFL career taking a year off from college.
And
so
he was young in a project coming out. We all said that.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think
give
him enough time. Like, this Viking coaching staff has had the ability to make bad quarterbacks look good and good quarterbacks look great. Look at Joshua Dobbs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So he's going to do enough to win this game. Plus, you also got Aaron Jones, who wants a little bit of revenge in the backfield.
Yeah, but does he still want that? Is he still at that?
Always.
No.
Always. It's always there.
I didn't know it's like that.
It's like that. But you know why? Because once you're a Jet forever. Said no New York Jets fan.
Well, that's That's actually the next game is the Jets.
That's my segue, man. I'm going right into it.
I saw it.
So the Jets are playing the Ravens. They're going down to Baltimore, where the Baltimore.
I don't think Chris Bourbon said it that way.
Baltimore. Ravens are favored by 13.5 points.
The Ravens.
Yeah. Ravens are favored by 13.5 points, which is the second high spread ends this week, but tied for the first, if you will. And the over-under at this game is at 44.5 points. What can be said? The Jets are a dumpster fire. They're Spirit Airlines Jets. They haven't gotten anywhere classy in a long time. They're sitting they're sitting Justin Fields. And Lamar Jackson, even though he didn't look right last week, they got Lamar Jackson. When he's healthy, like you gotta put your money on him. So if you want to talk with Tyrod Taylor's the backup over there, playing against Lamar Jackson, give me Lamar all day. Their defense is getting healthy. Give me the Ravens win. The 13.5 points is a little steep because I don't think that Ravens defense is that healthy. And I don't think that the Ravens offense is firing all cylinders. They're going to do enough to win this game, but win by 2 scores, it's a little too rich for my blood.
2 touchdowns, even, not just 2 scores.
Yeah.
If they can win by 10
2 touchdowns.
Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, so give me the Jets in this spread, and I think it's going to be some points on the board, but it's going to be give me the over on this.
So
45.
Yeah, and what's crazy is the Jets, if they can just get a passing game going, they're top 5 in rushing yards per game in the NFL, over 140 yards. It's so crazy that Breece Hall put up 133 yards last week, guys. Had to even throw a game-winning touchdown. That's how bad it's gotten. You can't even count on quarterbacks. And of course, our old buddy that we always call Tyrod Taylor, but I always forget his name is T-Rod, actually. This doesn't correct people. But it's because he literally got people mispronounce it for like a decade in the NFL before he ever told people. But yeah, I mean, they're bottom 3 in passing yards per game, bottom 10 in scoring. It's a real testament to the fact they can still get a running game going. Like that's
a lot of those yards also come from Justin Fields running for his life.
Yeah, you're not wrong on some of that, that's for sure. But I mean, I feel like Hall's had a pretty good year, I feel like. So.
Oh, he has. I'm not taking away from Hall, but you have to look at when Fields puts up more rushing yards than passing yards. Yes. You have to give him credit too.
Well, that's just because Justin Fields sucks. More of an issue of his passing than anything else. That's why he's benched, and Taylor is now the quarterback. So, but yeah, like I said, I don't have any faith in them to continue their 2-game winning streak they're on. I think that. Unfortunately for them, and I feel bad for them. Listen, I don't root against the Jets. I know a lot of people that are Jets fans, obviously growing up in the New York area, but they're still the Jets. So I'm with you 100% of Ravens to win. I think the Jets do cover that spread. Like I said, I think they're going to win by like 10 points. I actually got the under because I feel like I can't trust the offense of the Ravens fully yet. And the Jets, we just said bottom 10 in scoring. So yeah. I'm going to go with the under, so that we're 2 out of 3 we agree on, which is, I think, like our first disagreement, pretty much. Second disagreement, sorry, so far this week, which is kind of crazy. We've been agreeing way too much.
Don't worry, we'll differ later.
Oh, I'm sure we will. So, next up, we got our game here: the Giants versus the Lions, and we're going to hear them roar. As we're expecting to actually get destroyed by the Lions here. But when I say destroyed, it's more like I don't feel like we have a shot of winning. And I think the Lions are going to win. But I do think what we're going to see a closer game than I think a lot of people, predict is going to happen. We played very close to the Bears, should have beat them. We had a lead against the Packers in the 4th quarter. Like, I think the Giants' days of getting blown out is just not something that happens anymore. It's just that we don't know how to win. We don't have the next step. So I'm going to say the Lions win. I'm going to say the Giants cover the 10.5 point spread. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say that we're going to go over on the points. We got 50 points there. It's just a little crazy. But but we're better than people think on offense now. People think of the inept Giants offense who've been for many, many years now. We're middle of the pack now in total offense, top 15 there in yards. We score over 21 points a game on average now. We're top 10 in rushing offense there. And we're anticipating Dart being back. Problem is the Lions are also a top 5 offense. So we're going from a top 15 to a top 5. It's a pretty decent tier up there, you know. Top 10 are passing, top 10 are rushing. You know, and in the end, they know how to get in the end zone. The Giants have had that issue. They're under 50% rate of getting into the end zone when they get in the red zone. So the Lions, top 5. They're just a more efficient team right now. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, pretty much. And listen, I'm with you 100% on this game, but I think it's going to be one of those games where we might, depending on the coin toss, we may go up first, but we're going to have enough faith. We're going to be like in the game, but not enough where you're like, can we win this? Like, I think the Vikings take an early lead. It goes back and forth, and they're going to play with your heart a little bit, but it's going to be like one of those games where you're in it, but were you really in it? But
we're going to lose by touchdown, I think, basically.
I was about to say, when you lose by 7 points, 8 points in this game.
Maybe the full 10, just not the half.
Yeah, 100%. I think when you lose by 7 or 9 points, you're going to be like, oh, man, we could have had that if this play happened or that play happened, but we were never really in it to win the game, just to play a close game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun game to watch.
I think the final score will be closer than what we feel like. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like one of those kind of games where you never really were winning. You never really felt like you had a huge chance, but you need us to get a blown out.
It's like a 34-27.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I don't think it'd be quite that high of scoring.
Well, if you're going to go over 50, you got to get close to that.
I'm thinking more like 27-24. That's where I'm thinking more. Or they hit the 30 at that point there, and then we still at 24. Like, that's what I kind of feel like is going to happen. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Next up.
Yeah. Next up, you got the Steelers going in to Chicago.
Chicago. The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears. Oh, man. The Bears are favored by 2.5 points in this game. The Bears. With a 44.5 points over-under on this game. This was probably one of the toughest games that I had to look over because both these teams are in the lead for the North. So you got the AFC North Kings and the AFC South, NFC and AFC North teams playing against each other. The battle for the North.
Yeah.
And both had their ups and downs. And the Bears have been on a positive, pretty good swing. And they're playing close games and winning by that.
Yeah, we saw it ourselves.
Meanwhile, the Steelers, they started off strong. They got a little wishy-washy, and then they just beat up on the Chargers last week. Like they owed them money. It's like we stole their lunch money. I don't know what happened there. Well, not we, but the Steelers.
I mean, you know what happened with the Chargers. The offensive line is just done.
And listen, that lack of defense is exactly what it's supposed to do. They just ransacked them.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers is a veteran in this league. He's also had the Bears number.
He has
his whole career, no matter where he played. Give me the Steelers to win this game. And this one, I really like this game. Unless you're a Bears or Steelers fan, stay away from this game. Even if you're a Bears or Steelers fan, this is going to be a close game. Have a beer, have some popcorn, have some wings, enjoy it. Because if I was going to bet this game, El Paso, here I come.
Yeah,
Steelers are fit
on the El Paso, mostly because we don't know if Rodgers is actually even playing.
Yeah, he's got that little wrist thing going, but I think he plays. I'm taking the Steelers to win, so obviously they're going to cover that. And then the over-under, I do think it's going to go a little more back and forth. I don't think it's going to be that much over, but I'm taking the over.
You know, I feel like the issue we're having is that we remember the Bears and what they've been for literally for people our age that our whole lives. The Bears have been a very good defense, usually a very bad offense, maybe an offense that can run the ball, and that's it. We're used to the days of Mitch Trubisky, the Kyle Ortons of the world, all these kind of players there at quarterback. And Caleb Williams, I still don't think is a great quarterback. I've always told you guys, I think what he is, I think he's probably going to be an average, slightly above average quarterback. I don't think he'll ever be the guy that a lot of people thought he was coming out of that draft. But the Bears now have a top 5 offense in total yards, top 10 in scoring, 25.8 points per game. This is not your daddy's Bears anymore. And Ben Johnson has really done a lot to turn this team around. Now they are
your daddy's Bears were the 85 Bears, just saying.
Huh?
Your daddy's Bears were the 85 Bears. Bears.
Bears. Now the Bears were also top 2 in rushing yards so far this year, top 10 in passing yards. Like I said, they're a lot better than people think. Now the Steelers, complete opposite, guys. They're bottom 10 in total offense, but they do have a top 12 scoring number because they're extremely efficient. This is that veteran savviness of having a 57-year-old quarterback. Red zone efficiency over 63%. Great at third downs. They've also, their defense has put them in some really nice positions to get in short yards. So, they're that team that just does a lot with the little. And I'm gonna take the Steelers if I knew that Rodgers was there. Like if I knew Rodgers was definitely playing, I'd be like, okay, let's go with the Steelers. But because I don't know, I'm gonna go with the Bears. And I may look stupid if all of a sudden Rodgers plays, but I just can't take that chance. Because even if Rodgers was playing, I would go, I can see either one. So that's going to put me over the top, and I'm going to say the Bears to win. Bears to cover because, again, 2.5 points ain't nothing. But I'm also going to go under on the points because if Rodgers doesn't play, Mason Rudolph, that's who their backup quarterback is, guys. Christmas comes early for Rudolph. And
who got your slate tonight?
We have the under. Shiny, bright red nose enough times to know he's a crappy quarterback, guys. That's going to be an absolute blowout if Rodgers is not in. And that's why I can't go right now Steelers. Even though if I was closer to the week, I might change my mind. So, but we'll see. But yeah, I got Steelers. I got Bears, and under. So you and I are almost completely opposite in that game there. Finally. It'd
be fun. Listen, even if Rudolph was playing, I'm still taking the Steelers to win a very close game because I'm putting the money on the Steelers defense to upset and take away some of the magic from the Bears.
We'll see. We saw what happened. Caleb Williams, again, not a great quarterback yet, but what he is is elusive. He's hard to bring down. TJ Watt's gonna have a little trouble trying to get to him, I think, this week. We'll see, though. Next up, we got the Patriots at the Bengals, a matchup that, like, for years was very good. The old, Andy Dalton versus Tom Brady days now at this point. Now you got the Bengals going as a franchise. And you got the Patriots going riding that easy schedule wave with Drake May, who apparently his wife is now turning into a celebrity even. Like, all of a sudden, I'm seeing things like crazy for Drake May's wife. Apparently, the fans love her for some reason. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it, but it is what it is. I guess she's somebody they dislike. She's got a nice personality. I'm sure that's what it is. But listen, again, the Patriots should be kind of the surprise team. They're 9-2. They got a top 10 offense. They got a top 10 scoring defense now, allowing under 19 points per game, guys. Pretty goddamn good. And you could say they're literally one of the best teams in the NFL on paper. My concern, again, I've given you guys all year long with them, is this schedule was weak as hell. It's kind of the same issue I have with the Colts. I need to see them beat quality teams. The problem is I can't exactly say that the Bengals with Joe Flacco is a quality team. Their offense, surprisingly enough, as I say that, is not that bad. Top 10 in third down rate, top 10 top 15, so above average though in scoring. Their defense is just absolutely goddamn horrendous, allowing 33 points per game. It's bad. They make the Giants defense look good. Shane Bowen can go there and be an improvement.
It's not saying much though.
You know, that's just there it is. I mean, they're literally going to potentially break the all-time record for points allowed in the season. That's how bad this defense is, guys. So,
awesome.
Unfortunately, the weakest side of the ball is the Bengals defense. The second weakest side of the ball is the Bengals offense. Therefore, I got to sit there and say that the Patriots are going to win. Now, 8.5 point spread. That's what's the one thing that I go, I can see them losing by a touchdown. I think 8.5 is a little rich for that. So I'm going to go with the Bengals to actually cover the spread, though. I think that's the one thing they'll do. I do have the over on the points because, again, we're said 33 points a game the Bengals offense defense is giving up. Just need 17 more for the Bengals, and you're over 50 points. This is going to be a higher scoring game than I think people expect to be. Because, again, the Patriots defense has been very good. But the Patriots defense hasn't played good offenses. This is a better team on offense, at least, than the Patriots have played lately. So, yeah, Patriots, Bengals, over.
We almost agreed on this 100%. And for many of the same reasons. Drake May is leading the MVP candidate right now. Schedule or not, he's making NFL history on how he's throwing the ball. He's giving a testament of his patience behind the pocket. Defense is playing a lot better than a lot of people thought. Best two sides of football goes right over there. You also didn't talk about the run game and how well they've been running the ball. So when they start getting ahead in this game, they're going to start running the ball, start eating up some clock. So I'm going to go with the under over here. So I'm going to take the Patriots to win, the Bengals to cover because, you know, it used to be whack for Flacco, but he loses games, but he keeps them close. It keeps the Bengals fans' heart just pounding right to the end to go, crap. Giants fans, we know that feeling.
You know what I feel like, too, is I feel like Flacco is like every year I'm like, is this the last year Joe Flacco plays football? And like he almost was out of the league and then came back towards the end of that one season with the Browns a couple of years ago and then went to the Colts, now back to the Browns and over to the Bengals. Is this guy going to play just like 45? Is he going to be the Tom Brady of backups? Like, what the hell? Like,
he's different from Tom Brady. He's more like the Jason Voorhees.
Obviously.
He's like, just when you think that man's taking that last hit, he gets back up and comes back at you. Not as fast as he did before. Jason Voorhees, not Tom Brady.
Yeah. I mean, he's 40 years old now. And he's still playing good football. I wouldn't say I built the team around him, but like, let's say, for example, if you were the Saints, you know, and you want to get a quarterback and you want to bring him in for a year, I don't think there's anything crazy. That's not a crazy plan.
Hopefully, he doesn't turn to Russ.
Yeah, well, yeah, who knows? It's always a chance. It's always a chance with both the quarterbacks. All right, next up,
All right, up next,
4 o'clock time.
Talk about the Browns in the Super Bowl. This is a game of the poops. 4 o'clock, you got the Browns going into Vegas playing the Raiders. And the Raiders are actually favored in this game at 3.5 points with the over-under sitting at 36.5 points. This is your standards for a start, is it not? Which is pretty crazy there. You got...
I lost my light. Sorry if I seem distracted here. That's why I look darker all of a sudden. My light.
I thought you got tan real fast.
Here we go. I got the other one brighter now.
But you got one of the best defenses in the league in the Browns going against one of the worst offenses and defenses in the Raiders. It's your standards. It's the first start, is it?
Yeah, first NFL start official.
Yeah, so you get a little crazy, and that's probably why the Raiders get favored at home here by an extra half a point.
Not often the Raiders will be favored.
Yeah, I mean, Sneaky Pete is your coach, but he has not been sneaking to many wins.
Sneak to the retirement community, apparently.
100%. Right to the senior living.
Or it's just the Raiders. I mean, let's be honest. It's not exactly a great run franchise.
No. So, yeah, I know. I want to take the defense to win this game. So give me the Browns. And at 3.5 points, I think it's going to go this awesome, but I'm going to put my faith in that defense to allow the game to be won by at least 4 points. Give me the Browns there and give me – actually, I put the over. I want the under in this game. Give me the under.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on the under.
I was looking at that. It's just going to be like a 10-14 game or like a 12-17 because somehow someone's going to miss 2 field goals or something.
I can't trust Shedeur Sanders. He did not look good whatsoever. Now, we're going to touch base on one thing here because I see Jay already with the comment on it that Shedeur had no first team snaps ever. Guys, that's so typical of a backup quarterback. It's not even funny. Like, because there were people like blaming the Browns. Oh, they never gave it. Guys, he was a third quarterback on this team for much of the season until they finally traded Flacco away. The third quarterback. Yeah,
it's not that crazy.
Snaps. He's the third quarterback. He didn't get snaps with the first team. Backups get very small amount, even if any. Like that's not uncommon. I feel like everybody has this whole thing as if like everybody's out to get Shedeur Sanders. Like the boogeyman is out to get Shedeur Sanders, the boogeyman of the NFL. Like it's ridiculous. He's not that good, guys. And you're going to see it this week. I love that the Browns are playing the Raiders the first time that Shedeur Sanders gets to start because we get to truly see how horrible he is. Like I'm sorry. Like you don't go from being a 5th round pick to all of a sudden a star very often. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but chances are he ain't that good, guys. He completed 25% of his passes, had 47 yards and an interception against the Ravens, a 13.5 QB rating. I don't care
Russ Wilson.
he didn't have, snaps going into that game. There's a lot of people that went into NFL games without ever getting snaps with the first team and still did a lot better than that. And even before he got in here, it's a bottom 3 team in scoring, 16.2 points a game, bottom 3 in total offense. The defense is the only thing that keeps them in games. To be honest, the defensive side of the Browns is the best side of either team right now.
100%.
Like, not even close second, mostly because Myles Garrett's on a freaking tear like you would not believe. Absolute tear. And they got, a good pass rush going. Alex Wright's done good for them. He just got an extension. But the Raiders just slightly better, I think, at that point, talent-wise. And mostly because Geno Smith may not be any good anymore. Like, let's be honest. It seems like wide receivers made him. Not to be a jerk about it. He had a couple good years in Seattle, but it seems like the wide receivers kind of made him. But he's still better than Shedeur Sanders right now. I gotta think that's the case. He's going to do better than a 14 QBR. So, yeah, I'm going to say Raiders win one. I'm going to say they cover the 3.5 points, even though that's the one I'm least, comfortable with. But I'm going the under. This is going to be like a 9-3 kind of game.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be very brutal, boring, and messy.
Yeah, it's going to be a little crazy there. So, next up, we got the Jaguars at the Cardinals, and
Jaguars.
That's typically a very, very bad matchup there, but this year, a little different now. Jacksonville is basically middle of the league in offense, top 15 here overall, but just barely. They're very efficient. They're top 10 in red zone TD rate, 4th down conversions, but their defense has actually been much better. And that's what's been keeping them to being an okay team. I don't want to say a good team, but an okay team right now this year, which is still an improvement from where they've been. You got Arizona, top 20 in scoring. Not very good. bottom 10 in points allowed, but somehow they've been scrappy and a little bit better record-wise than they should be with those kind of stats. They're also one of the most penalized teams in the NFL. I just don't think this is the week they can go ahead and get that rolling. I think Jacksonville just rolls on along at that point there. And I also think eventually Jacoby Brissett's not going to be good. Because I just don't think – I think we've seen enough of him over the years to know he's just not good.
Yeah, we know it's by now.
He's a backup quarterback. He's a backup for a reason. He looked horrible last year with the Patriots. So I think that Jacksonville wins this game pretty easily. It's only a 2.5 point spread at that point there. So I'll say they'll cover that easily. 47.5 is the points. I'm going to say under.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% in this game. It's one of those games where it's going to go back and forth. It's going to be messy. And like you said before, both these defenses on both sides of football played way better than a lot of people thought. Jaguars started off the season really hot. Then that he's so hot. Well, Han Solo also got frozen in carbonate, wherever it was. And that's what the Jacksonville Jaguars did for a month and a half. It did not look so good. And they won pretty handily last week. Even Jacksonville this game, they're a better team overall.
Yep.
Especially on defense. Especially against a backup quarterback who you've tried him out now 4 weeks in a row. He won you a couple of games, won you a game. He's played some good football, but looked a little bit better than Kyle a lot of times. But
Kyler Call of Duty as well as Kyler Murray.
But there's only so much a backup quarterback can play before he turns back to that pumpkin. So Jax in the under. That's a pretty easy one there.
Yeah.
Yep. Next, the game of the week at 4:25. You got the Eagles going into Dallas, playing them boys. And the Eagles favored by 3.5 points in this game with that over under sitting at 47.5 points. I think this is going to be an upset game.
Ooh.
Right at the deadline, the Cowboys made some moves. The defense played a little better last week. I think that's saying a lot though for the last week. From where
nowhere to go but up.
What was that?
Nowhere to go but up with that defense.
Well, that's true. I'm just saying, when you play, the Raiders, it's the Raiders, whatever it is, but they looked a lot better overall. Dak's been playing lights out. They also picked up an offensive lineman, I forget his name, and they've also looked a little better there, given more time in the pocket. So these teams typically play each other tough, and as much as I would normally say the Eagles are the better team, respect Super Bowl champ, I think there's a little bit of tweaks in this Cowboys where they're going to do enough to squeak out a win at home.
Squeaky, squeaky.
Squeaky, squeaky. They play each other tough year after year. So, yeah, give me the Cowgirls to win. Give them the cover. I want to take that in the under.
You and I are so completely different in this game, it's not even funny. I think
game inside the week.
The Eagles are definitely the better team in this whole thing. Listen, Eagles are 8-2, and their offense hasn't looked great at times. Let's be honest, guys. But they've been extremely efficient. They're the number one team in the NFL in the red zone, scoring touchdowns on 75% of their red zone trips there. Obviously, the tush push helps, but they're really efficient like that. As long as they can stop A.J. Brown from imploding, they'll be fine. But we'll have to see what happens there. Dallas also top 3 in the total offense, second in scoring at 29.6 points a game, top 3 in passing yards. This is going to be a big offensive output there overall, both sides, I think. And I get what you're saying. The defenses look, going to look a little better. They got a couple of pieces there, but there's still new pieces. It still was a horrendous defense that the Cowboys had. So I think what you're going to end up seeing is the Eagles winning, covering the 3.5 point spread. They went by a touchdown. But I got the over on this 47.5, guys. This is going to be a 30 to 21 or a 30 to like, to 24 kind of game at that point there. Like that's where I think it's going to happen. I think the Eagles are going to kind of get a little bit of a get right game for themselves there on offense. And I do think they actually will target AJ Brown a little, hopefully, finally, to make the guy happy. And I say hopefully, he's a Giant fan. I'm just tired of hearing the guy bitch and freaking social media. It's like, shut up. I gotta imagine playing with that guy. Every place that you ever work has that one guy no one likes. By the way, guys, if you don't know who that person is at their job, it's you.
Most likely.
But I feel like that's AJ Brown of the Eagles.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But here's my rebuttal to your over and why I went with the under is who they played last week.
Who?
The Eagles.
Okay.
We're talking about the Eagles. Who they play? Play the Lions. They beat them 16-9.
Yeah.
Week before that, played the Packers. The Eagles won 10-7. That's 26 points in 2 games. They put those 2 games, they don't beat that spread.
I know.
So, is it the Eagles defense playing well? I think it's going to be a back and forth game. You're going to see a little bit more defense than you typically would from these 2 teams. So I'm with that.
I just think that they're going to have to put points up because the Cowboys defense is a lot worse. The Lions defense, Packers defense, those are good defenses. Cowboys defense sucks. So, and it's going to force the Cowboys into making aggressive throws, aggressive moves at that point to try to keep up. So it's not going to be that kind of game. We'll find out who's right, though. Like you said, this one could be the tiebreaker this week, this game, which should not just be the tiebreaker this week, but it'd be the tiebreaker for the season because you and I are literally sitting tied up right now.
Ooh.
So let's get into the next one, though. Falcons at the Saints. And talk about a crazy
Saints
game.
come marching in.
Atlanta's literally on a 5-game losing streak. They just lost Michael Penix Jr. to a knee injury. Kirk Cousins
for the season.
Yeah, and Kirk Cousins is now the starter.
Ugh.
Yeah. They're a bit weird like that. I mean, they're bottom 5 in scoring, the Falcons are. The middle of the pack in yards. Top 15 in rushing overall. It's not very good in the red zone. Like, let's be honest, they've had a lot of offensive issues. But they're playing the Saints 2-8. Bottom 3 in scoring, just 15.5 points a game. Their team has gotten such disarray that Brandon Cooks literally asked to be released.
Yeah.
They can't find a way to use them. And listen, I'm not advocating that Brandon Cooks is Brandon Cooks of old. I think he's definitely taken a couple steps back. But they definitely could have used him a lot more than they were. If he would go to the Giants, I'd take him in a heartbeat right now. He'd actually be the perfect fit for us. But he will not come. He's going to want a contender. Let's be honest. I can't blame him. So it's just a case of Atlanta's a crap show, but they're playing a team that's more of a crap show. So therefore, I'm going to pick the Falcons to win. I'm going to pick them to barely win, though. But it's a 1.5 point spread, and that's it. So therefore, that's not enough to deter me from saying Falcons. 39.5 points. How about like 20 points? That's what this is going to be. Another really bad offensive performance, which we have a couple this week, that's for sure. So yeah, I got Falcons under.
Yeah, I definitely took the under in this one. It's going to be like a 16-13 kind of game. Something brutally ugly.
Yeah.
And listen, you got Penix Jr. That's pretty much after the year. You got Drake London, who is very doubtful for the game, who's probably not playing, which is, their star receiver.
Yep. It's going to be a beat-up game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Saints in this game. Upset playing at home. Last time that they played, especially Saints at home, Saints won last year. And I'm pretty sure Kirk Cousins was also the starter quarterback then. He's got the same talent around him. Probably going to be the same outcome.
When it boils down to it, I'm going to root for every team that's got 2 wins right now because if we're not going to win something, at least we can win a better draft pick.
100%. Give me the Saints to win. Give me the Saints to cover, and bet the under in this game because woof.
Yeah, big time. So let's get to a more offensive.
I was gonna say let's turn this around. Turn around. Sunday Night Football gives you a big old offense game. This should be a fun game to watch.
By the way, guys, real quick on that.
Mr. Interrupty over here.
Listen, I gotta interrupt somewhat here, so it's okay.
All the time.
I'm actually going to be doing some game coverage for that game with Peter Blake at the Sports Web. So we have the potential here where if all y'all want it on our channel as well, I could pop it on here. That's your guys' call, though, if you want that. But yeah, we will be going live from Tampa Joe's after the game, before the game, halftime. He usually does as well. So,
Both on the show.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you guys want it, just put it in the chat, and I can pop it on to as well. If you guys want to be part of that as well for the Sunday night game, as Jason, who new friend of the show. He's not a new friend of the show. He's not. The crazy thing is, he's never been on our show before because we actually have like the same exact time frames we record. But he's an actual friend beyond of the show. So
beyond friendship of shows.
Yes. There's tiers. There's tiers. So like I said, if you want coverage of the Sunday night game, let me know. I'll pop it on our channel as well. If you don't, then no biggie at that point, like I said. So, but like I said, I figured at least give the offer if you guys want it. So anyway, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Rams are hosting the Buccaneers. The Rams are favoring this game at 6.5 points at home with that over-under at 49.5 points. And, ooh, doggy, this could be a fun one. You got Matt Stafford, who you could say old man Smithers over here. He's just lighting up the NFL, being a QB guru, if you will. Playing behind a great defense with an awesome coach. Give me the Rams to win this game. The Bucs are going to play close like they always do. Ooh. The Bucs are going to play this game close as they always do. And I think it's going to down to the wire. And it's going to go back and forth a little bit because, you know, they don't have Puka Nacua for the Rams. Right? He's out for this game.
I got to look it up.
I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind. He's in it. He's back. I take that back. Yeah, I take that back. And I'm also going to take the under. I put over here, but I'm taking the under in this game because I do think it's going to be back and forth. But I think defense is going to step up a little more in this game than a lot of people think. And that I don't think it goes over 50. So, yeah, give me the Rams, Bucs, and the under.
Yeah, it's a really high, for me, that over under. I was kind of shocked by that one there. I think it's a little crazy. I mean, listen, I get it. Tampa's top 10 in scoring in the league. Defense, though, was really good. I mean, obviously they played the Saints last, so it's not like not like they played a top 10 team. We just talked about it, but they only allowed 3 points and 48 yards rushing on the Saints. Like that, it's a pretty damn good defensive performance. The Rams top 6 scoring offense, but number 2 in defense as far as points allowed. So you're talking 2 really good defenses and 2 really good offenses. So it's kind of like makes you think it's going to make an average score, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like more in the 40s than going up that high. But I mean, listen, they're both great teams. They're both really efficient teams. Bucs are starting to get a little healthier at this point here, which is good for them. If I had to guess, which is what I have to do, I'm going to still say the Rams win, like you. I'm going to say that the Bucs do go ahead and cover that spread, same as you said, and I'm going to say the under on the points there as well because I just don't see it being. Like I said, I think it's going to be more like a 45-point kind of endeavor.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll say 44, so I can say it's like 23-21 kind of, or 24-21. So yeah, it's 45. It works. Yeah, like I said, it's just that's what I think is going to happen. So, all right,
maybe like a 22-17.
Last one, guys. The Monday night special, the Panthers at the 49ers, which, listen, you wouldn't have thought would be a great game on paper, but I actually think this is going to be a decent game to watch, actually, for once. Listen, Panthers 6-5. 6-5. And it's definitely not because of the offense. Bottom 5 in scoring, 18.8 points a game. Though they are middle of the pack in yardage, so there's definitely room for improvement. They get more.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that comes from early in the year where they were putting up the yards and not finishing the deal. But the past month, 6 weeks, they played some really good football, some tough football overall.
Yeah, they've been, like I said, much better. I can't believe that San Francisco is still top 10 in total offense, considering all the injuries they've had. Like, absolutely insanity there.
Great coaching.
McCaffrey just set an NFL record with a 16th career game with both a receiving and a rushing touchdown. Had 173 yards a couple weeks ago against us. So, yeah, I mean, total beast mode there. But again, the Niners are all banged up. It brings them down closer to that level of the Panthers, but they still find a way to win. It's what they do. So I'm going to still say the Niners are going to win. I'm going to say that the Panthers keep it somewhat close. It's more like a touchdown. I saw a field goal they lose by. And I'm going to say under on the points because of the fact that you get one not so good offense and one that's been banged up all year long. So 49ers win. Panthers cover the 7-point spread and under on the 48.5.
I'm with you 100% on this for a lot of the same reasons. You got great coaching on the Niners. They're going to win this game. But the Panthers has just been figuring out ways to play tough football.
Yeah.
And it's shown. They've beaten some good teams, playing it close. So it's Brock Purdy's, I believe it's his first game back or this week. So you may have a little rust in there because even if it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy, I think they're interchangeable right now, coming back off the injury. I don't think he lights it up. So same as you, Drew. Niners to win. You got the Panthers cover, but give me the under. Do a lot of running in this game.
So that's, like I said, that calls it a week for us guys. So we'll find out who gets the tiebreaker here. Again, we'll be live with coverage here on the game itself there coming this Sunday here for the Lions and Giants. Like I said, that obviously we'll do the regular play-by-play with you guys. We'll be there, of course, for the for the post-game coverage as well. Of course, as always, we are live on YouTube, the preferred platform, along with Facebook, Twitter /X, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite.
LinkedIn profile.
LinkedIn profile. And of course, as always, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there. So again, if you guys haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share button there. And about the show, guys. We'll see you guys on Sunday for, hopefully just not a blowout at that point there. So that way, that's where I'm at. Appreciate you guys for watching, supporting the show as always. And as always, Giant fans,
go J-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.